They fired him. Not quietly, not politely. They fired their best employee, a black worker who had quietly saved the company more times than anyone knew. And the reason? They said he was too difficult to manage. But what they didn't know was that the company's biggest client had been watching every move. By the end of the week, the client walked, millions lost, and the company's reputation shattered. Marcus Turner had been with Harrison and Company, consulting for 5 years. He was smart, meticulous, reliable. Every project he touched ran smoother, faster, cleaner. Clients loved Marcus. Projects were delivered on time, with precision. His reports were flawless. His recommendations were trusted. But there was one problem. David Larkins, the manager. David was a man who thrived on control. He measured loyalty by obedience, not results. He enjoyed correcting people publicly, asserting dominance, and keeping the team on edge. And Marcus? He was David's favorite target. Marcus, why are you always challenging me? David would say in meetings, are you questioning my authority again? You think your way is better than mine? Marcus stayed calm. He let results speak. And the results? Always better than David's expectations. His co-workers respected him. Some quietly admired him. But most stayed silent. Not because they didn't care. Because David controlled their schedules, promotions, and recommendations. Speaking up was dangerous. It was a Wednesday morning meeting. Marcus walked in, coffee in hand, ready to discuss the upcoming client pitch. David wasted no time. Marcus, you've been hard to manage lately, he said. Your methods are unconventional. Marcus blinked. I've been following the process you outlined, sir. David scoffed. That's not what I meant. You're a risk to this team. You create more work than necessary. Honestly, I think we should part ways. The words hit the room like a thunderclap. Marcus stayed calm. I'd appreciate a chance to discuss this before making a decision, he said. David shook his head. No discussion. HR has approved your termination. And just like that, Marcus's career at Harrison and Company ended. The team sat in stunned silence. Whispers filled the room. You can't be serious, muttered one junior associate. Another stared blankly at their laptop. Marcus packed up his desk methodically, like nothing had happened. Inside, his stomach churned. Anger, disappointment, frustration. But he knew something the others didn't. David had made a colossal mistake. What the company didn't anticipate was that their biggest client, a Fortune 500 firm, had been working closely with Marcus. Marcus wasn't just an employee. He was the bridge between the client and Harrison and Company. Emails went unanswered. Calls delayed. Reports lacked Marcus's precision. Within hours, the client requested an emergency meeting. Harrison and Company scrambled. Managers whispered frantically. David insisted it was just a hiccup, but the client was serious. They had grown to trust Marcus's judgment implicitly, and his sudden disappearance left them questioning the company's reliability. The client's office was sleek, intimidating. Marcus had walked these halls many times. Now, in a twist of irony, he was walking with his new employer, a competing firm. The client's lead executive, Ms. Reynolds, didn't waste time. Your employee, Marcus Turner, was essential to this project, she said. We trusted him. We trusted his guidance. And now, without him, we don't have confidence in your team's ability to deliver. David tried to explain. He was difficult, he stammered. Ms. Reynolds' eyes narrowed. Difficult or indispensable? Harrison and Company's management froze. The realization hit them like a punch. Within 48 hours, the client withdrew their contract. Millions lost. Harrison and Company's reputation shattered. David had allowed personal bias to dictate professional decisions. He ignored performance data. He dismissed repeated positive client feedback about Marcus. He undervalued the relationships Marcus had built. Meanwhile, Marcus had been preparing meticulously for every client interaction. He had become the face of reliability, trust, and competence. David didn't see it. He only saw ego, control, and power. And it cost the company everything. Back at Harrison and Company, the panic spread. Senior managers called emergency meetings. HR was inundated with concerned employees. Whispers about favoritism, bias, and mismanagement spread like wildfire. David's attempts to justify himself only worsened perception. Marcus was difficult, he insisted. Not everyone can handle someone of his caliber. But his words fell flat. The truth was visible to everyone. They had fired their best worker. Marcus, calm and composed, joined his new firm with a client in tow. His new employer doubled revenue in that sector. He retained every major client he had worked with before. Harrison and Company, they tried to recover. Press releases, statements, restructuring announcements. But the damage was done. David, he quietly left the company, his reputation tarnished. Marcus's lesson was clear. Competence, loyalty, and quiet diligence are more powerful than ego or control. Sometimes the quiet, reliable worker, the one who doesn't argue, boast, or complain, is the backbone of a company. Removing that person out of ego or bias can be catastrophic. The person you underestimate, they often hold the keys to your success or your downfall. If you were the client, would you have stayed or pulled your business immediately? Comment below. And if you want another story where arrogance backfires spectacularly, there's one on your screen right now.